Hello, good morning. Hi, everyone, welcome. I don't know. I have been here at home and I felt like I've been processing a lot of things in my mind, and I feel like I just want to share and vent with you guys. I think I kind of want to do like a little, not therapy, but in a way, if someone needs to share therapy, I want this to be an open space. I feel like I have personally been looking for a comfortable space, a space that I can just kind of like feel safe in. And I've been talking to a lot of my very close friends and family, chosen family, and I've been really, really supported. And I think that what I want to do is kind of create the space that I have kind of been in search of, because sometimes if you can't find something, why not make it? But yeah, and I'm gonna, I guess, I'm here at my makeup station, so I'm very much a distraction-oriented person when I'm not the most cheery. So I probably will start like playing with makeup at some point in time. Maybe I'll also kind of show y'all some of my skincare routine. I don't really do the best with that, but I'll try to like make this interesting, and then I want to go in and talk to everyone and see how we're feeling, how we're doing, and then we definitely have to like wrap everything up on a positive note. So we're gonna give it welcome to the amusement park that is me. And forgive me, I don't know, my allergies are acting up. I've been having allergies. We haven't talked in a while, everyone. I've been having allergies ever since I got my nose done. It's a whole thing that I'm dealing with, so it's new. So here's to allergies and helping clear them. I'm gonna be trying to read these comments, but I'm very slow. Okay, perfect. We're gonna get into it. Hello. Thank y'all for the love. I just feel like, I don't know, I have a lot of like abandonment issues. Like, I'm telling y'all, we're gonna be very raw and real today. I have a lot of abandonment issues, and so like one of my biggest things is I usually like hide away until I feel like I have something I want to share or present, or like, I worked really hard on this, here's that, here's something I've been working on. Like, I put a lot of thought into whatever it is, and that's like the only time I like to like go out and be around I feel like people sometimes, because my abandonment issues and like some of my trauma is so strong, and the fact of like, well, in past times I've tried to do things, and then when I've done them, people have just been like, no, like, get away. Like, oh, you thought we wanted to see that, like, go back to your room and go play with your toys, and like, you know, don't be seen, don't be heard, make yourself useful, thank you so much. That's like very like a trauma thing of mine. They're working on the apartment next door, so every now and then I'll be distracted by a little bit of a banging. But I wanted to, as I'm sure everyone's been kind of asking in this chat, share my thoughts on what happened Monday. Because number one, let's give an amazing round of applause for just the representation in the room. I think that the Emmys, you know, one of the first things I said when I got seated was, oh my God, like, this is old Hollywood. That was my first immediate reaction, you know, just straight up. I was like, I sat down, everything was about to begin. They were pouring the wine. How are you? Would you like white or red? Would you like a half glass or full glass tonight? Like, they were getting ready to do all the things, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is old Hollywood. Like, this is fully just a complete host of the most prestigious entities you can think of within the world of media. All media. literally they opened the entire show with Oprah, and I was like gagged. I was so excited. I look up to her a lot. I think that I've found a lot of balance that I deal with in my life from Oprah. So like that as an opening was everything. And then as we began, you know, as everything got started, I was like, oh wow, like, you know, I feel like I got educated on a lot of like what was current, because I'm not the most up to date with watching TV. So like everything I was seeing, I was like, oh my God, like wow, like that was so well shot, so well directed. Like there was just so much like very good, amazing artistry, and a lot of it I hadn't heard of, you know, at the Emmys, because that's like, you know, the best of the best for the year, according to like, you know, the Academy's vibes. And I did a little bit of a moisturizer, by the way, you guys. I just used something simple, just something with like not a lot of extra stuff in it, because at the end of the day, I just want hydration. And I guess I'm gonna like color correct, because I just have like a little bit of like discoloration I like to work on. But yeah, wrong brush. And I'm gonna use this brush. I told you, like, I literally find ways to like feel comfortable when I'm sharing, because in sharing I find comfort and healing, but I feel like getting my thoughts out a lot of times is just like really scary for me. And honestly, like, this isn't a bad thing. It's just more like how I'm feeling personally, I guess. But anyways, there was a lot going on. There was so much like, just like, I think the main dominating force at the Emmys was sentience. I think I'm saying that correctly. I'm not really sure. And hi everyone from Bushwick. It's so good to see y'all in the live. And that was honestly such a high for me too. Like that was amazing. That was some of the best energy I've ever experienced in my existence, and that was amazing. Definitely go to Bushwick and check them out if you ever are in New York during this time of the year. It is iconic. But yeah, I you know, was just really like, oh my God, like we're really in like the room of just greatness. And you could tell like with certain awards and things, like I was like, oh, like there's like 17 people from the same series in the same category, and I was like, oh wow, like oh my gosh, like wow, that was amazing. This actor, that actor, this actor, that actor, and they all were on the same set together, and it was like a category for best actor in a anthology series type vibes, which shout out to Jennifer Coolidge. I was living that she won actress for her role in White Lotus. That was everything for me. That was just so much fun. I really loved her. Loved. But yeah, so we get to our award category, and I'm just really excited. I think part of what I was going through at this moment was we did a lot of press. We did a lot of work, a lot of sharing. There was a lot of investing. I feel like that came from our very intimate spaces. You know, we share a lot of the girls that did work for the For-Your Consideration. We went very internal, you know, like sharing about what has challenged us, what has changed us, what has made us who we are. And ultimately, you know, for us girls, especially the five of us that had, the five of us that came into transition, and Cornbread wasn't there for the Emmys, but the rest of us girls that were there from that specific group, our trans girls, we were just really hopeful. We were like, oh my God, like we shared so much of our like guts in a way. And we just were really excited to just even be there. You know, we were all holding hands. We were all cheering. We were all really excited. And Lizzo wins, which is amazing. I absolutely am not here to even begin to say that the outcome that happened was wrong, because Lizzo is an amazing person. I think everything she stands for is beautiful. And I was honestly like, someone was taping the reaction, and the minute I saw that it was, I literally was excited. I was like, oh my God, like yes, like she won, wow. And it was really, really, really exciting. I do think that part of my emotional state right now is just it wasn't that we lost. It was more the fact that I was just so shocked that we put so much out there, and it was kind of like, just like, oh no, not, that's not for us. That's not what we want for, the season to win. And in times, when we've won in the past, I feel like it's been a much more lighthearted, airy, and fun message that has been displayed in the foyer considerations. And everyone has been like, really like, like, oh yeah, perfect. And the Emmy, 3 millionth Emmy goes to, it was amazing. And I think part of what I've been processing lately is just the feeling of like it not really being a time for the girls to share, our trans story. It just didn't seem like it was really what the vibe was. And the vibe was amazing. It was progressive. If we look at the media, there's amazing, amazing things being said, especially in the movement of women, which is so important. And even beyond that, the movement of women in color. I think that is a very, very, very important thing that deserves a lot of attention. And I think that it's a very important right now that we unite more than ever, because there's a lot going on. So to see people of color specifically be highlighted and celebrated is so crucially important, because we need to see more of that right now. We really do. And that's the other thing too, when thinking about all of this, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on outside of these United States, in California, out of California, across the pond. I mean, I couldn't even begin. It was so much sensory overload being there, because you get to see so many different perspectives, and not just the obvious ones. It's just people from all over the place in one space. And I feel like I got a lot of a reality check, not even for myself, but just like with what reality is. What is going on in reality? There's a lot going on. And I think what I'm feeling now is a motivation to make sure that knowing who I am and being who I am, and the stories and amazing parts that were shared in our Drag Race journey, I just really feel like almost like a fire to be like, thank you so much for having us in the room. And while we're in the room, let's continue to do the work, because there's a lot there. And not just work for us, work towards everything. That's like the whole goal. And I feel like doing what we do, or doing what people do in media, if you go in with the right intentions, it's all about being as helpful as you can to the greaterment of humanity. Because and many times people who get into media, they might have had a traumatizing situation that led them and guided them to want to share with people the importance of education and the importance of love and acceptance. I feel like that's really what is the driving force behind so many people that I've met in the media presence. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to see. It really is. But I also definitely, while being there, because I've been to a few awards, they're all very different. None of them are comparable. But I think another thing that I have been like avoiding talking about, because I don't even know how to talk about it, is that in the same room, there was a feeling of guilt or embarrassment that was projected in the room. Like, I feel like we were all very proud. We were very, very happy. But then I would notice at times throughout the night when I would look around me, because I have social anxiety. So usually when I'm walking through somewhere or I'm doing something or I'm going to the restroom or I'm stepping away to get a cocktail, usually I'm getting a cocktail because I have social anxiety, and people I don't know processing me, staring at me, makes me uncomfortable because I have a lot of trauma built around that from my upbringing. And I know nowadays we're in a very different world, and there are a lot of very amazing, embracing, accepting, and cheerleaders of who I am and what I do and what we are, and just humanity and life and liberty and all those things. And I feel that and see that often. But there is still a sense of panic, I feel like, that I experience all the time when I'm in public, especially a situation such as like the Emmys. And I think the one thing that I like noticed and that made me, I guess, have so much to process over these last couple days was that there was definitely an air of, like I said, a guilt and a shame that I felt like people were showing in their energy, but weren't necessarily saying. Like, we'd be walking through, and this would be sometimes just me or the group of all the girls. And I would like look to my left or my right sometimes because we were walking through people. And I, of course, love to observe the gowns, the outfits, the diamond rings, the gigantic Cartier, just most obnoxious, beautiful pieces of art that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, oh my God, like, that looks like costume jewelry, but I know damn well that's 100% a diamond. And sometimes when I would glance over or take things in, I would just notice people literally giving this look, just like, how dare you be in this place? What are you doing here? You know? And I know what that looks like because I was raised in that. That was literally the core basis of my early upbringing. It was very shame-based. It was very ritual-based. It was very high society practiced in terms of a mental state, that we must live life a perfect, according way. We are this, we are that. We are a distinguished people. Therefore, you know, how dare you be in this place type vibe. And when I noticed that there was that energy there, it was a panic. I really felt so, I feel like I had almost been set up and pumped up by myself. I think maybe it was me, to be so bold and to be so excited and to be so like, yes, I'm walking in the room. Hello, how are you? You know, I'm wearing, you know, this amazing piece of art that my amazing family and, you know, the Gettys, I love them so much. Like, they allowed me to be there in this beautiful moment. We have an amazing, for the first time in history ever, the entire cast of the show that we were a part of, we all had so many amazing stories and pieces of our heart to share. I feel like a lot of times there is the shitting glitter and pumping up pop music and the snaps and the yes type vibe of the Emmys when Drag Race goes, but this time we had everyone, and there was just such a like commitment to heart. I feel like this time going, that was just really beautiful to see, and to be surrounded by all that, and then to also notice that there was just this vibe of like, what in God's creation is this? I can't believe I'm seeing this at my Emmys, you know. And like I said, it isn't any like specific person. I don't know people's names. I just know that there's definitely, you know, so-and-so, Mr. Sir and Mrs. Madam, ages 67, 82, 73, and 45, but you can tell they've been raised to feel that way since birth. And it was just a lot. And even like, there's a lot going on with this really intense vibe of like, I don't know, but it just doesn't make me feel the most welcome when I see like just things that are happening as of late. We're in a very political climate. We all know this. A lot is at stake for people who want to finally be able to live a free life and a life that gives us an opportunity to be the best we can be. That's very much at stake across the board, from literal LGBTQ plus all the way to the people that are just without structure and order in the world. They will fall apart. There will be nothing. It will implode. And it's just so intense right now. And I sometimes I don't understand why. Like, the vibe is just very like, everyone's just suited up. Everyone is just so, what is that term? I think it's like from the Housewives. Everyone's very much on that. We see each other. It's Nene Leakes and it's Candy and it's these amazing, long, just, I'm out of words. I can't even put it into words, but it's so much energy. It's so much energy and it's so built up, and it's just like, we see each other. I see you, you see me. Hello, my God. And it's just like, oh my God, like, does it have to be that way? Like, that is so, it creates a full moment of lots of hard work, and to walk in the room and almost be like, oh, how, like that they must have come in through the wrong entrance. Like, that was how it felt in certain moments. And I was just like, oh my God, like, this is a thing. And I think that, that energy carried itself into the awards as well, because you have to remember, a lot of the people that I probably am talking about that I saw in passing, these are probably the same people that are the voters and constituents and high appointed members of these networks and of these places. And they've worked very hard. They're very established people. They're very, very established, but it's just jarring. It's jarring to walk into a space and to feel like, I have the utmost respect of anyone who's built a company over the last 100 years. It's an empire, and the most amazing, only the best and greatest have ever tread foot through the door. I love that. I think that is amazing. That's the whole point. That's what we work for. That's what we share for. That's what each person who ends up attending the Emmys literally dedicates their life for. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone who goes and wins and does something and makes something of themselves and just even is in the room, like, everyone has put in so much work. Everyone has just really committed themselves. So it was very fierce, to say the least, to feel unwelcomed in a certain sense, But at the same token, I think that there was also a lot of support. It was amazing to see people that we've admired and I've admired from television and from media, and just like, oh my God, I love her. And then, like, they come up to the table and they're like, oh my God, you guys, I just have to tell you, y'all are so fabulous, and you're just like, oh, you're fabulous. Yes, like, like, you inspire us to be more fabulous. There was just a very beautiful tone in the room as well. That's what I'm telling you when I tell you guys it was a lot. It was a lot. It's not a negative, it's not a positive processing. It's just the processing of realizing it's a lot going on out here. It's just so much. And then like even after the awards, I'm not very, very educated in what's going on, but there were like people protesting right outside and about things that are going on in Armenia right now. And I had heard a little bit, but I mean, it's very hard to keep up with everything. And I think right now with media, everyone kind of focuses on the media that's the most shocking to probably where they're at in their life. You know, like if something about trans media, another trans sister or brother murdered, or a jurisdiction decision about, you know, the criminalization of someone and gender affirming identity. There's so much going on right now that I'm just like, are you kidding?